We were taking pictures on the beach. I remember looking back at them and I'm like, I don't look like I used to. I don't feel like myself. I'm not the same person. I want to feel like myself again. Most importantly, oh God, I'm nervous. Tea. Hey, what's up guys? It's Rachel back at you with another video. And as always, before watching, I just wanted to say, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like, a comment, a thumbs up, subscribe, that little bell so you know when I post a new video. I really appreciate all your love and support. It really means the world to me. Make sure to follow me on social media. It's at rgapple on Instagram. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today, and I really hope you enjoyed. Today, I'm going to share my fitness journey with you guys, and I think that's something that's really important not only for me to document, but to share with others who may be wanting to get into fitness, because I know it's a big part of my life. I know there's a lot of aspects that went into my fitness throughout my life, of mental as well as physical. I really want to share with you not only my past experience with it and me growing up in my fitness then, but also the last year of me going to the gym and focusing on bettering myself, not only physically but mentally, things I've learned and how I've gotten to where I am. So growing up, I was always pretty skinny. I was always pretty tall. I'm like 5'7.5", fully grown now. I am 19 years old. Growing up, running and stuff, when you would run the mile, that was not my jam. My jam was sit-ups, not push-ups. Yeah, really high heart rate growing up, and cardio was just never something that was great for me. I decided to push myself. I started running, and I would run for maybe a couple, 2-3 miles, I'd work up to it. So I played volleyball for my school from 7th to 8th grade, and then I was going to try out for my high school volleyball team, but I unfortunately did not do that. I ended up actually playing rec for about, I think, 2 years, and that was really great. However, I remember freshman year of high school, I was so discouraged because I remember having something that's so big a part of your life just sort of disappear, and made me kind of see myself in a different light. At that time, I wasn't quite myself, and I didn't really have anything to keep me motivated. I just kind of fell off the bandwagon. I didn't really care about, how strong I was or how, physically fit I was. All I really cared about was being skinny. I did have some problems growing up with my weight. Freshman year, I just didn't feel like eating. I was always steadily around 120 for a long time. And then my weight got down to 111 pounds at one point, and I was like, okay, something's wrong here. Sophomore year, I continued to play volleyball, I continued to eat more. That was good. I was, on the right path. I was moderately healthy, And then junior year rolls around. I really didn't care too much about my body or how I was treating it or what I was putting into it, for that matter. I ate junk. I hung out with friends all the time. I didn't really care about my fitness. I remember the summer before junior year, I did running almost, I would say 4 or 5 days a week. 3 miles around my school and back. Just getting those endorphins from doing something as simple as running. I fell in love with exercising in that way, but it's so intimidating, signing up to go to the gym. What do? You're just this 15, 16-year-old girl. But anyways, as I was saying, I didn't care if I was putting energy into improving my body or my mind, and I got into a really dark place. And I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I remember going on a trip with my friends. Just gotten this new DSLR camera, which, I'm using right now, and I enjoy very much so. We were taking pictures on the beach. I remember looking back at them and I'm like, I don't look like I used to. I don't feel like myself. I'm not the same person. I want to feel like myself again. And it's not like I had put on a ton of weight. I wasn't fit anymore. I didn't have the muscles that I used to. I wasn't able to do the things that I was able to do so easily before. Weight doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, if you're happy with your body, you're happy with the way you look, and you're happy with what you can accomplish physically, and that makes you happy, whatever that may be, whatever your goals are, then that's great. But for me, I got up to 137 pounds, and for me always being around 120, 125, that was just a little bit, whoa, okay, maybe I could lose a few pounds. Another thing that really kind of changed my mindset on fitness and what you put into your body and diet and all that was, at that time when I took that trip, all of my friends were vegetarian. I didn't quite know how I felt about that because I did like eating meat, but it was something more like the mental aspect of it. And I'm not saying it's right for everyone at all. Vegetarian to this day, I've been vegetarian for like about a year and a half, but that doesn't mean like I don't crack and eat like chicken sometimes. Sometimes you need to. Sometimes you need to eat chicken. Okay, like sometimes you eat some protein, you know, besides plant-based. So I started eating vegetarian. That helped me. I felt better. I felt less foggy in my mind. My digestive system was better. I was dropping like a little bit of weight. I thought, okay, that's good. What else can I do for myself? During that time, summer after junior year, I had quit my job, like just because I wasn't in a good mental state. I wasn't myself, like I had said. I decided at the end of September to join a gym, and that was one of the greatest decisions I have made thus far in my life, I think. I didn't really know what I was doing going into it. Go into the gym and I'd be like, okay, like I remember how to do like a couple of machines, you know, the cardio on the elliptical for like 15-20 minutes. I do abs, I do the leg raises on the walls, the AbX machines where you do assisted crunches. I do like leg press because that's what I was familiar with, and I didn't know how to educate myself to get to that next level and get where I wanted to go, which I didn't have a clear idea of where I was going looking back at that point. I didn't know who I was as an individual. So I got a job again in late September. At that time, I had also enrolled in Running Start. My senior year of high school, I went to college instead of the high school. So as you can imagine, it's great, you know, get a jump start on your academics, but it's also more responsibility, more stress, and you're isolated from people. So it was like a big adjustment for me. September, November, I didn't really go to the gym that much. December rolled around, and that was a very hard time emotionally for me, and physically as well. Look, I could, you know, just brush over it, but I mean, I think it's important that I'm real when I speak about this, because I know it's gonna help at least like one of you out there to hear this, because you're not alone. I got out of a long-term relationship that I was in, like, you know, my high school sweetheart or whatever, and that really threw me off for a long time. Didn't really have much motivation to do anything for a long time, for a couple weeks. Didn't know what to do, and so I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that energy, I'm gonna take that frustration, I'm going to work on myself. You realize after something like that, after being with someone for so long, all you have in the end, you know, is really you and the love that you put into yourself so that you can share that with others. At the end of the day, you have to focus on you as well. I really stepped it up in the gym, and something that really helped me was I started following like fitness influencers on YouTube and on Instagram, and still to this day is one of my favorite fitness YouTubers to watch, and that is Nastasia Ponomarenko, and I'm actually wearing her clothing brand right now, the sports bra and the jacket. It's called Nasty Fit. You guys should check her out. She's really awesome, and she gives you basically like a lot of the tools that you need to succeed, talks about her fitness journey, talks about things that have helped her along her way. She was really focused on growing her glutes. Growing up, you know, I was like always this skinny mini, and when I had all that weight, I had a nice booty going on, okay? I had a nice booty, but it wasn't like a contour booty. It wasn't like a squat booty. It wasn't like a muscular booty as much as it is now, I would say. Just following advice from her and Megan Grubb and just like other people like that. And they're all fantastic, and I really think it's important to have that kind of guidance, because then I started experimenting more with free weights and like doing exercises with resistance bands. The gym was such an escape for me at that point that every single night in December, almost every single night, because I had like a month-long winter break, go to the gym every night for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, like 5 or 6 days a week, which I don't go usually that often or for that long anymore. Usually like an hour, like maybe 3 to 5 times a week. You know? Got to the point where I wanted to see the results, you know, I was seeing them but I wasn't seeing them, and I thought the way to get them was to lose weight. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You, right here, you. If you're trying to get fit, you're trying to get healthy, you're trying to get strong, do what feels good for you, but realize that muscle is built from fat. That's why people bulk up, to gain muscle and to lean down and to cut. So if you're starting off with like a little extra chub, like, good for you. Don't try and do an excessive amount of self-cardio. I repeat, do not drink fitness detox tea like I did to the point to where you weigh like 113 pounds. I went from 137 to like 113 pounds. Like, there's a problem there. It took me a while to realize that. It was hard for me to gain weight, and I knew I had overdone it. But still going to the gym, I felt like, oh, I'm doing something for myself, I'm doing good for myself, and I was, but I wasn't treating my body right at the same time. And it all clicked for me. This one night, I came home from the gym. I spent like 2 hours there at least. Went to go take a bath. You know, rest those sore muscles in the Epsom salt, all nice, you know? I remember getting up out of the bath and thinking, I don't feel right. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna faint. I still remember it so vividly. I need to tell someone. So I tried to walk down the hall to my mom's room and ended up slamming my head, I was wearing a towel, just a towel, into the grandfather clock, passing out, naked, on the floor. And my mom opens the door. We had a long talk, and I realized, like, I need to start taking better care of my body. I need to start doing more for myself. Throughout December and January, I started slowly gaining weight back. Slowly. It's hard when you've sort of been in that mindset, and I'm not going to deny that because it needs to be talked about, and it's not talked about enough regarding to fitness. It really isn't. Because you're compared to these, like, you know, fitness models, and you see them, you know, being all lean and skinny and cut and all this and that, and yes, they are, but what you don't realize is that muscle weighs twice as much as fat, yet it's like way more condensed than it. So a lot of the fitness models that you see weigh a lot more than you think, and you just don't process that in your mind. They have to build themselves up to get to that point, to get those muscles, to get those curves, and to get that sculpted. It's not just as simple as like taking fitness tea and going to the gym for like 2 hours a night. That's not what it's about. You have to nourish yourself, and it's okay to do that intuitively as long as you're like treating your body right. What really changed my mindset on like just fitness and everything in general, January, February, I got my first workout buddy, Daisha, and we would hit the gym together all the time. We would always keep each other motivated. Not only is going to the gym like so good for your physical body, but it's also so good for your mental health. Just having her there and us talking and like kind of going through the same things in life really just helped both of us sort of like just jumpstart as individuals and push each other harder in fitness, you know, in the right ways. And so by the time spring rolled around, I was really looking forward to, I had this trip to Cancun, which I did do vlogs on those on my channel if you're interested in checking those out. I was really motivated. I want to gain weight. I want to get up to like 120 pounds before I get to Mexico. I believe I did that. I believe I weighed around 120 something pounds around them. Maybe like 119. But anyways, I decided to incorporate that knowledge that I had more of fitness that I gained through like other influencers and through Daisha. If the biggest advice I have to you is that if you're struggling in the gym and you don't know what to do, maybe is still a little bit embarrassed or uncomfortable, get yourself a gym buddy. It doesn't matter if like they don't have the biggest prior experience of fitness themselves, but what does matter is that you both want to do it and you want to do it for yourselves. You don't want to do it for anyone else, because if you're doing fitness and you're getting fit for someone else or to change the way people perceive you, then you're not going to get very far. You need to do it because it's something that you love and that you want to do for yourself and no one else. And that's the best way to motivate yourself. I gained weight, I learned more, and I was starting to see the results that I wanted to see to an extent, and that made me really happy. And I went to Mexico and it was a great experience. After going there, I quit my job again in December when I was going through that hard time. And so after that I was like, okay, you know what? I know I can do this. I know I'm worthy. Like, I look at all this progress I have made. There's no reason like I can't accomplish more. The new term started and I was doing good with that, and then I got my old job again back as a waitress. And that was a really good decision for me. I still have it and it's awesome. I love the people. It really pushes me, and I love being active and just like running around and helping people. That's just the type of person I am. Another thing that really helped me is I was really like into watching fitness YouTubers more. And I think it was something Megan Grubb mentioned in her fitness journey, was that she was talking about the mind-muscle connection and how important it was to really feel your muscles contracting and not just doing the reps to get them done with, but like actually doing them with purpose because you want to see results. And something that really helped me was to really, if you're trying to target your glutes, really push through your heels and squeeze your glutes as you're coming up from a squat, or really feeling the contractions in your stomach when you're working on your abs or anything like that. If you're not consciously thinking about your muscles and feeling them contract. You're not getting as much out of the workout as you could have been otherwise, and that really changed my mindset for the better. And I had been working with resistance bands for a while, but just doing that with like hip thrusts and things like that really helped me along really well, I think. And at that point I was like taking some like protein powder and supplements and stuff like that too, and that was helping as well as just like eating better. Before summer of my senior year, so summer 2018, I ended up dropping a bit of weight again because I had been diagnosed with ADHD, and if you don't know ADHD, you normally get prescribed medication for it, which makes you like not hungry. But it's not something that you can't work past and you can't learn to like cope with and how to eat, but that's a whole different topic. I think I was back down to like 115 or something like that, and I was like, that's not where I necessarily want to be. I was like, okay, you know what? Fitness is what I really like. I had all this free time, so I was going to the gym like 5 days a week again. I was eating more, and I think I got to about like 118 again, and I pretty much stayed that way until throughout fall. And during that time in the summer, I was really seeing like my efforts like pay off, because you know, people think that you're supposed to just do abs, you know, to get the abs, and that's true because it does grow your muscles that are underneath the layer of, you know, fat or whatever. However, you know, to get them in the right way, because obviously your abs are more visible when you have less body fat. However, building them through, you know, doing ab exercises, which not only like stabilizes the rest of your body and prevents you from injuries in general, too, when you have leaned out to and worked on all your muscles to the extent where you can like actually see your ab muscles, they're going to be more noticeable. I was always really focused on like doing legs and abs. I mean, I did a little bit of arms, but in the summer I really realized I should start working on my arms. Nothing wrong with like having upper body muscles, but it was just like more important for me to develop, you know, the booty and the abs and all this and that. But once I started doing that, at the early fall, I started seeing something that I had not seen before, and it made me really excited. Going into this, I was like, yeah, I want abs, but I mean, after all that time, that just wasn't in my mind. I love what I'm doing. I love how my body's feeling. You know, I love how much it pushes me mentally and physically, and how good it makes me feel about myself, that I'm making this progress. That they just like sort of, you know, magically appeared. Some separations did, and that made me really happy. I mean, I don't have a six-pack by any means, but I definitely had some definitions besides the oblique definitions, which I had seen for a while, show up. Really happy. I was like, okay, I must be doing something right. And it's not like I'm not still learning, because I definitely am. The last couple months, actually, I've been able to put on some more weight and just working on myself even more. I think it's so important to go into working out with the mindset of, if you're doing this, like, do it for yourself, because you can accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish, no matter if it's just to tone up a little bit or to build your muscles up and lean down to the point to where, you know, you are sculpted and you do have abs. But what you got to remember is you have to do it in a way that is good for yourself, good for your emotional well-being, and good for your heart, and for the right reasons. Because if you don't do that, then you're gonna, you know, have those twists and turns along the road. And if you're at one right now, if you're at one of those challenges right now, I hope something that I have said can maybe help you along with the process. Really wish someone would have shared with me some of the things that I'm sharing in this video, because I think it really would have helped me, not only physically but mentally. Fitness is so much about mentality. Mind-muscle connection, baby. Mind-muscle connection. Do your best. Do it for the right reasons. If you really want results, you will get them. I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, click that little bell, and if you want, give this video a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Stay chasing your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video.